Oh, nobody told me it was live. So, hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, everybody's having a lovely day and whatnot. Because Bricken is having a lovely month. Let's not forget about that. It's actually very entertaining to see everything coming up together. And well, yeah, so I mean, seeing the show from the inside and then seeing you guys from the outside, I think that we're on a very positive ride. So we have to enjoy the good moments, right? Before they get all lost in the wilderness of crypto. So, on that sense, what I'm going to do today is just showcase the latest stats on the platform. Because last time I was supposed to give you the update. So, you see that we actually work on a roadmap, we actually develop all of that good things. Thanks to the awesome team of Bricker. That's a high five to all the team members. Then we're gonna talk a little bit, obviously, what everybody's expecting, the BKN and the listings and all of that. And obviously, I come packed with good news for everybody because obviously, I think the rebound was about to happen, and we didn't expect it to go this far. Not yet, at least. I mean, the fundamentals and breaking out there, it's. I mean, we're one of the most prepared teams, as you can have seen. We haven't disappeared. We yeah, this is our second, third bird market, and we're still here rocking and growing. So that's great. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what the 3 million is going to be used for. And there's a lot of good things. So why not? Let's start with the demo and just want to go quickly through product because nothing tells better about us than why people actually hire us, right? So 1 second. All right. Yeah. So multitasking. Sorry, guys. It's uh it's a long day. It's Wednesday, and I still have a shitload of things to do. Okay, so let me share my screen. All right, so yo, closing some things, closing some things. There we go. Okay, so you seen before how we create an asset, and all of those good things. Just wanted to give you a little bit of context. Obviously, you saw how one company can have multiple assets, singular assets, the creation process. I'm not going to talk about all of these things. So, on various updates that we have done as a company was how can we target certain individuals, companies, institutions, right? So we need to showcase better user experience. All right. So eh, we are updating minor things that you're not gonna go specifically, but it's called user experience. So it makes everybody's more simple as to how to get information and all the great things around it, just to make it simple because not everybody cares about blockchain. So we are abstracting everything that is technology wise. But what I wanted to showcase is just two things quickly because these are the cool things. So what the team we've been renewing around user experience is making everything more acceptable. So here we are after you created the asset. So here we guide you through the process of creating an asset. You can decide what you want. So if you want a fund, we guide you what chain, stables, and whatnot. When you create the asset, we're gonna go put you into perspective. You can put it up to sale to third parties, right? So people asking, so where do I go? So a company that hire us obviously is to originate a digital asset, a tokenized asset, and then they have to decide how it looks for third people such as yourself to jump into the investment opportunity. All right. So that's what we created the investment portal. An investment portal today looks like this. This is all done with Bricken's technology, right? Man, this looks better than a bunch of websites out there. This is how crazy good our team is, and that's why I love my team because this is insane. Like, there's websites that don't even look this good, and the important thing is that you have like I'm just gonna show you another one. Like, look at this. Now, as you can see, the template. Okay, so the format it's similar, but every single company out there can decide how this looks. Okay, so this is the offering. People can jump in. So for example, here I can register. I'm not registering this one, but I'm registered here. So I have all the abilities to do all of things. Here I'm gonna connect, and it's crazy. Kind of like I have all the information in one place, obviously because it's a website. But the important thing is it looks really nice and it's super simple to understand that this is doing that. That I can invest here, go here. I can start deploying capital. And now we went overboard because in the end we believe in blockchain, but blockchain there's some nuisance for certain people. So now you can invest in stable coins. This is a parity against stable. Obviously, I'm working on my sandbox, but you can pay with credit card, Visa, Mastercard, or you can deploy bank transfer. So everybody working with Bricken, there's no stopper as to how you generate your capital or where does investor come. So where in what geographic zone. But I really want to highlight this because when the team was working here, I was like, God damn, it looks better than not our current website. People out there might remember how some of our websites were looking. People out there don't know that many of them were made by me and another co-founder, so they were complicated, let's call it like that. But here there's another one. Okay, so everybody decides how it looks and whatnot. Some put more efforts. It doesn't matter. I mean, in the end, it's the decision of the client how much information they want to do. But the idea is similar. All right. So all of this is done through here. How crazy is that? Kind of like we created a very nice website builder. This is the latest version. So we are really offering something that they can decide on so many things. And this is obviously a previous step to a next one because we always evolve on everything, right? So another cool functionality that we showcase was the possibility of creating. Let's say this one. This looks very nice. Congrats to the Amihan client. This is a shout out to them because this looks very nice. And it's a very nice deal, by the way. Okay, so now we go here to the P2P. So we created a secondary market, not an order book. All of these exchanges, Binance, Nasdaq, whatever you want to call it, Robinhood, OKX, they are order book. They're a different type of secondary market. We created a bulletin board where even holders can sell inside the same website. They can start selling or buying positions from other ones. It's not as liquid as an order book, but it allows us legally to be able to, for our clients to push this into the market. It's a bulletin board. This is what it's called. And it's crazy good how they made it also. Like how simple it is, the maneuverability, the information, all in one hand. People are coming up to us just to buy the P2P. Like this is not a standalone product because just how simple it is, they're like, okay, can I we just get the P2P? And I'm like, we never thought about this could be a standalone product, but you never know. I mean, if the market wants, we give. And again, like this is crazy. All of this is done through the like literally. I always say it. Like, what does it make us so good? You know, and it's because all our know-how, ideas, designs, experiments from everything that we know our clients, it's embedded in the platform. Like we're literally giving so much power to any client that when clients come to us and they have like, oh, I want to have this, it's like, yeah, it's here. And they're like, oh, but I want this. It's like, yeah, it's here. And they're like, they're mind blown. So when they go to compare, like literally, please, and I'm really looking forward. I'm going to challenge you. All the community publicly challenge here on this AMA of the quarter because I'm excited that we are having the possibility of offering such a prime product at such a low barrier. And this is why we're killing it currently in the market because all of this is accessible. It's there's no friction at pricing. Nobody needs to know how to code. It's literally the simplest tokenization, best good looking out there. And if you find something that is better than ours, please send it to me in a DM and I'll gladly airdrop you for cutting me the effort of looking around what is being built there. And one of the coolest things is that we never copy from anybody. We learn from every single out there good platform. We copy the best on the concept. And many concepts here are not even on tokenization. They come from fintech, they come from Slack or Discord. Kind of like we always push ourselves to get the best user experience from other people that already did. And then we just create our own. because this it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't mind going around for 10 minutes. Like everything we do is for our clients to be able to onboard their investors, and then you suddenly give them the tool that it's looks like this. They have all a big data room where they can find all the information the company does. So I'm hoping that if you don't like it, please put it or send it to me DM. I'm always looking for feedback. But just imagine that if you're the first time seeing this, like you go crazy. You're like, I need to hire this, and this is what's happening. This is why we're actually incrementing our numbers and all of that good things. So at the roadmap, we never talk about a couple of things because we don't like to get copy. Because that's it. We don't deploy our roadmap. We deploy certain concepts as a roadmap, but we never deploy anything for people to copy because this is kind of like our advantage, right? Okay, so not gonna talk anymore about platform. Just wanted you to understand how hard we work and how much we're evolving. We have, if I will show you truly my roadmap or our roadmap, sorry, like 24 months because it's insane. Kind of like you never stop building. Like you go here, and if you would tell me like when I was back in 2020 that we would have such this platform, I'm gonna look for the demo of our first platform. I think we even took it down obviously of YouTube, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna upload it, and then I'm gonna do a comparison and concept because obviously, like 2020 when we started, we had no clue how it starts, and nobody can tell you how to create a product. This is a funny thing. Like there was no chat GPT, so it was all in the brain, and it was all in the co-founders at the time because they were the only ones people working to create something. Then we hire, which now some of the I believe all of them are very good, but our OG coders, they're insanely good. Like we grew together, and this is why it's positioned ourselves is to be in a very good platform because we also have a hell of a good team. Now I shouldn't say that out loud because competitors might come in and swamp on our team, but I believe they're happy with us because we are a very loyal platform and a very loyal company. So hopefully I'm not wrong. But again, cheers to the team. All right. So what comes next? Now you understand a possibility of us. So what happened? All right. Old photo. Look at me, super chubby. I was on medication, by the way, cortisone. Had a little bit of a liver problem. See, I'm human, like everybody else. Forward past, old photo. Now, uh, there we go with what does this mean, right? I mean, we secure 3 million. Shit, 3 million is a lot. Depends where you are. Maybe United States they will laugh, but then again, we're not United States. And basically, this is a shitload of money, and we're super happy, super hard to get money. You guys got no idea. Middle of a war, we were signing contracts. It was a very rough 3 months. I would not go back there because there was sleepless nights. And why did we need money? We need money for us to continue our business. No, it was because we needed to go faster. It was a very rough decision for us to go race again because some VCs were like, "You don't need the money, so why are you racing?" And it's like the problem is that this is not a tech problem. It's not a team problem. It's a license problem. All right. So Bricken right now is a software as a service, and we are great at doing software, but also we are growing here, right, in the institution phase. And this is the hardest thing to do because to do these things, we need to comply with a little bit of milestones or huge milestones, right? So, first milestone or second milestone is we got this. I'm gonna put here. Okay, so super boring stuff security wise. Many of you may know, many of you don't know. This is how you manage security inside the company. Is it easy to get? No, it's complicated. You need to implement a lot of process. And then the European Union via MICA or whatever, I don't remember what norm, they implemented this. So for us to target clients, we needed to prove that first of all, we know how to handle security, information, data, that there's process and protocols in place for us not to fail. So this is a serious step. This is not like oh I buy it or something. Like you get audited. You get audited on documentation processes. You need to prove that through evidences that you know what you're doing, because in the end, you're managing private information. So it's crucial, right? This is not for everybody, like an ISO 27, but in our sector, finance, by all means, crucial, all right? So us building here is telling the market where we're going. Now people will know if they will know what it is. Many don't, or I don't care. The important thing is that we know what people want at the higher level. This is not the only one. I'm not gonna disclose more, but we have four more happening. So starting point before the end of the year, we should have four more, and that's how we tell institutions that not only do we have great technology, but we have great understanding on security and compliance, because that's where the big business is, right? I'm not mistreating all my clients. I love my clients, but I'm saying that at the high level, there's different types of plays, and this is how we begin playing at that level because we already have it. And the important thing is, we never created a product for the big guy. We created a product for the mass market. So the mass market gave us a lot of feedback. We constantly get feedback from clients, potential clients, past clients. We throw that into a big dashboard, let's call it, where we start analyzing what should we implement. And this is why when we go to the big guy, they're like, "Oh, you have everything." And it's like, yes, because your needs differ a bit with the mass market. So instead of having one single feedback from a huge client, we have 100 feedback that almost fits you. So it's a concept about how you deal with startups and growth. But either way, that's not the relevant thing. The relevant thing is that we're almost getting there. Amazing. Pat on the back. It was a very legal tech team work. Pat on the back for everybody. It's not simple to get it. We crushed it. First time audit, first time pass. Flawless. Now, four more. So now, why I'm telling you all of this with the 3 million raise? Oh, where do you go? Oh, here we go. All right. Okay. So we raised 3 million for a couple of factors. Now, compliance and all of that, but also because we have applied for some licenses here in Europe. We told them in the past that we were going to do certain things in MENA. Right now, things are a bit on hold situation. I mean, you never can expect that will happen, but it is happening. So, luckily for us, we don't depend on that area for our licenses. So, in Europe, we're about to go and we're about to become a very regulated institution. And I'm going to tell you what it is because we decided to put it here. I don't know if it's in this one or in another one. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is that we are going to become a broker. So that means we can distribute digital assets from our clients to partners, boards, funds, family offices, high net worth individuals. So we become a source of liquidity, which amplifies just not us becoming solely a tech provider, but now also a regulated entity that can manage, handle, distribute securities to third parties. This is huge. It's not simple, but who the hell cares about simplicity when the money's in the complexity being solved? So for that, we're going to become a broker and also a custodian under MiCA. So from everything we do is self custody, and now we also got the tech to become a custodian of digital asset and cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to tell you how that matches because this is step two of a phase three. Because, like I said, if I will give you the roadmap, it's crazy. But the craziness is not just at the tech level, it's at the compliance layer. And the money that we raise is for us to accomplish the mission of us becoming a highly regulated entity in Europe. And I say still MENA, but based on the factors that are influencing in the region, we may go and target something else because the vision of Bricken, I can tell you, does not stop in being a regulated entity in Europe and in MENA. There's a bigger vision on all of this. And this is why we raise money to secure our spot with not big players. There's very few people doing what we're doing, not just at the tech level, at the legal level, like the level of compliance and deep pockets you need. Because trust me, you will say like, why do you need 3 million? Because if it's compliance, yeah, fortunately, Compliance and licenses can be way more expensive than tech, especially now with tech reduced with Claw and all of these great helpers at coding. Compliance is still bureaucratic. Compliance takes months. So I'm imagine that we started the process already, and we think that it will not happen until Q4, where we have the powerhouse that we want to have with Brickhead, so we can close some deals, some into, and you will say like, why are you doing all of these things? And it's like, because the market is requesting it, because we create products for the market, and we love to provide great solutions and services to our clients. And we believe the next two movements out of three, because guys, I'm going to tell you, or everybody, that the two things that I told you, it's not everything, except that the other ones don't want to publicly acknowledge, because you don't want to people see what is being built behind scenes. So I don't mind telling you those two. We shoot it to the market, but there's a lot more cooking behind the scenes that are gonna make us a fucking great company. I'm sorry for that. I have to say it like that because I'm excited, guys. All right. So, and then when did this happen? We crushed it. Yes. Q1 is done. So now we have to go for Q2. So what happens now? The on build happened. Everybody who we told that this would happen, that we were capable of doing. So it's kind of like skin in the game. Or no, sorry, put your money where your mouth is, right? So we created, and obviously, boom, we started booming. What I didn't expect so much is because these kind of news don't really work at crypto. They work in clients. Crypto started picking up. So I guess many of our community, not just community, but some related to our business, started buying BKM, because now it feels like we're a trustworthy company. Kind of like there's money, there's backers, we have all the ingredients for us to succeed. Now it depends on us, the team as a whole, and me as a responsible one, to really execute at the level that we have promised. So far, we have been compliant with such level, but now the bets got higher and will get higher. So also, how we get judged in the future will matter on how easy we can execute based on everything that we have been promising. And obviously, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that making public promises are twice the burden, right? There's companies that don't get this, and there's Bricken that has a BKN token on a community. And I believe these things also get publicly available for clients and all of that. So it's a public commitment what I'm doing, and that's very burdensome. But that's what we do here. Okay, so now we go talk. Now you understand that yes, we have deep pockets, we have backers, we have vision, where it's going. Now let's go talk about the guys when you probably will want to talk about. And it's this. I cannot say much here because it's been very nice ride. Um, I'm gonna do something quick and do some pretty much bad analysis. I haven't really been trading that much lately because of the markets and of the job. It's just not there. But let's put a 1 day here. All right. So, oh wait, I'm gonna go for a week. Okay. Okay. So coincidentally, I'll say that our longest term was this, right? It took, I don't know, I mentioned the other day, I think it was 12 weeks. And then we went to a horrible bear market. So when we launched our token, maybe we could have been here and we would have matched our longest term, but we launched, I believe, mid bear market in the complete chaos of June. And we now are passing. So I see it elevating. I'm seeing some distress in the some on stress. So I don't know how to say, like some liquidity jumping in. I wouldn't take it as any alt season or bull market or anything. I'm just saying that I think BTC was 6 months in red, and the only time it happened was like 2018. I'm talking out of memory. If you want to correct me, no problem. I'm not certain about the data. I'm certain about certain things, but 6 months in red. So I think liquidity jumping in. We're still at wars. I don't know. It's a very weird ecosystem. The ones we're doing. The Fed chair is about to change. So I think Gary Gensler be now. Not Gary Gensler. Sorry, the other guy. Being out, it's good. So I will take all promises and things. But the important thing is that when we started announcing a rebound because trust started happening to us, right? And you can tell, like, I gonna show you something. This is not a dumb. Probably my competitors or our competitors are not seeing this. It's not a talk. It's just me showing something. So I always tell you, like, you have to see things by the term, right? By the vertical. Okay, so out of here, I'll say competitor, respect, chain, not competitor, not entirely a competitor, not a competitor. It's a lending, but arguably competitor, chain. I don't know if they're a competitor, chain, competitor. All right, so direct competitors out of my watch list that obviously I update and I check what's new. We have one maples. I'm gonna count it. Why not? Okay, so one, two, three, four, five-ish competitors above us. The rest are chains or weird concepts around it, right? So the RWA vertical got crushed in bear market. I don't even know why. Like, you have this vertical that actually makes sense for me. Blockchain always made a lot of sense on finance. Like, it's a public ledger that can really move value 24/7. So by default, it's the perfect technology for all finance related. I always thought that, and I will marry that concept. You have other like AI, gaming, metaverse, whatnot, stable coins, and not. I don't care about anything right now except the RWA. I don't know why we got so crushed when we are one of the legits because what we offer products, it's backed by something that is absolutely real world assets. But I don't even know why the vertical got ruined. Like literally, like I see great products out there. I'm gonna talk. Yeah, I don't care about that. But okay, so we go here. Now, all of these are most likely competitors. So on top, we really have you. So that means market is acknowledging that we could be one of the big ones. But also, like, I'm not gonna talk about the rest. I see great people here, and I'm shocked by the market cap. So that means like this bear market was brutal. And I feel really like I see some and I'm like, dude, how is that working? Because great team, great product, great business, and the token is very bad. And I feel really like I'm shocked. That tells you a little couple of things, and then we can talk about the Rave DAO. I actually gone through some of the parties of Rave DAO. The product is a party and music apparently, and it people to like 6 billion. Cryptocurrency don't make sense. Like we can be the best at something, and the market will not show in crypto. It will show in stocks, and I can tell you that I think some of these values are not true. Also, of ours, it's not true because now the company and the public figure is 38 million, so it doesn't make sense. But we see some maturity in the market. Let's hope that things get real. But then you have a Rape DAO event that makes no sense, and it's like, okay, so we're not even mature yet. I don't know what to say, guys, but okay. On our end, the only thing we can talk about is the Bricken. We're gonna continue working hard. We're going through some big candles, trying to maybe build some new supports, understanding where it is going. If you guys look at Etherscan, we can go over here. Why not? The staking contract still above 22 million. People jumping in, jumping out. Obviously, profit taking, whatnot. We have seen some slowness. Always go to the chain if you want to see what is happening. So I don't mind showing you. Transactions, see, they're slowing. So the only real movement that is happening, it's obviously in Mexi. So some traders is happening, but at the Trust Foundation, if you take out the liquidity pools movements, I'm pretty confident that we are in a very good spot with the community and the sentiment is high. Staking is maintaining about 22 million. I'm not seeing any movements happily from the se or going to the sex. So this is $700. It's not something that is dumping. So, but you have to take into consideration kind of like the big movement jumping in. So that's very positive. So I'm just giving you something that you can go on Etherscan and go and analyze the same way that I'm doing, or go build your own Doom dashboard or whatever, and then you'll come probably to the same conclusion that right now we're in a very good position because the trust is there. Like we go 14, okay, we have a pullback normal. It's not a continuous flow, but you can tell like the normal pullbacks is kind of like people understanding or traders or community here, here on the daily. We go up. I always thought the 10 cent was a very important zone area. It took us one, two, three tries, then we got done because obviously it got like exhaustion, and then we went up, boom, and then it was like the exhaustion killed the 10-cent sellers, and then we went here. There was probably little barrier, so we went up to 14. And I have my own analysis. I'm not gonna share it because obviously it will look like I'm trying to onboard some not financial advice to everybody. I'm just talking right now about this. And basically, I think we're in a very good position. I'm very happy. So, what is the future? The future looks super bright, not gonna lie. I'm gonna go to Miami in 2 weeks with Ludo. Gonna sit down with a bunch of people, obviously, exchange is included. Because if we keep going, I'm excited. I always said it. If I get excited with my team and we see potential, we go and blast it. The thing is, don't push me when you're in the bear market. Like people were pushing here, like, oh, you should list to maneuver. Thank God I didn't list, and I'm gonna tell you the community is like they should be thanking the freaking team because thanks to all that we've been doing and all the harass that we have been doing with the listing, and you guys don't care. And like, dude, I don't even have. I don't mind saying. I think my savings are drawn. Like I was rebuying with the community money in the game because we made 3 million. I understand the vision. I'm the first buyer. I'm the biggest holder. You guys know that. It's like this is not this is public information. I don't even care. But I put my money where my mouth is. So I saw various positions that I had. I've been rebuying because I believe the big game is gonna grow, obviously, because this is our project, right? So, not saying anything that you guys don't know. I've been saying those things in Telegram. I'm very happy with everything that is happening in the company, not just as the big game level, at the product, the client, the compliance, the movements, the network. Me and Ludovico, my co-founder, who's the chief revenue officer, we both go to Miami. We are absolutely packed with meetings because we wanted to test United States. Clarity Act may happen next week or not. We hopefully, because if hopefully that passes, me and Ludo cannot arrive at the better moment. We have some big meetings, big names, and everything is moving towards it. And it's very simple. There's not a lot of RWA tokenization platforms out there. I mean, it's a very hard sector. Everybody who I said is like, you guys are suicides. You should do something simpler. By all means, we should. But then we're trying to solve a fucking multi-trillion problem, right? Which is we got to innovate financial markets and capital markets. So that's where we're going. So with that at hand, I gotta say, like myself, as a beginner, not as a CEO, I'm excited. I see innovation. As a CEO, I see heart and I see a lot of positive throughout the company and outside. And I think all of us should enjoy a very positive moment and see where it lands. I don't think it's gonna stop. I don't. I mean, Bricken itself, we have deep pockets, deep network, growth, and team, so we can crush it. And now first quarter runs, and this is a very good end of the first quarter. So I can only hope for second quarter. We have a lot of things happening that are gonna continuously show our worth. And all of this obviously goes because we're gonna do our Series A, where all of you are more than invited to jump in at the terms that we decide. But it's not Bricken decides; it's also the market decides. So I don't know what is gonna be the valuation. If it's 38 million, well, maybe should not go lower than 50 million. So that's where you guys will enter. But then you all have the possibility of burning your BKNs for equity or not. But hey, we're giving you the parity. Do we care about BKN with equity? Absolutely. Bricken itself has bought over, I don't know, 600. I need to do the count. You guys know that. We've been supporting public information again. So if we didn't care, we would just let it die and then we will worry on the equity. But we live in a dual world and we need to protect and respect the interests of both. We're the biggest asset holders. Yes, public information, July 25th, our treasury goes. Not even going to touch the treasury. We don't need it. We don't need tokens to sell to survive. That's the best thing you guys can happen. Like, I will not be, our token is not dependent on us. Our business is not dependent on us selling. So how lucky is everyone in this community that even Ricken doesn't need to sell any token positions to survive. Because we're selling equity, we're selling business, we're selling growth, we're selling a lot, we're selling a vision. Ricken itself is a vision, and we're complying with that. So, hey, let's enjoy the cool moments while they last. Hopefully, they keep lasting. This is a very bad bar market. Again, 2026 has been a horrible entry since October 10th in a horrible market. But hey, we're here, right? Kicking ass. That's the only thing that matters. So I'd like to thank all the community. Now I'm going to jump in some questions. Let me see where they were thrown at me because I just want to answer you. Just went through what I wanted to let you know. Product amazing. Race for what it's worth. Token situation. Did some shield. Name a couple of things. Name some things that are happening in the 2 weeks. Why are we going over there? And obviously, I want to help you all grow because I want everybody to really, yeah, kind of like, I don't know if I should say, but yeah, I want everybody to make money. Do you guys invested? Why not? Thanks to you all, we're here. We never forget. Thanks to the 2021 ICO, Breaking exists. So I always remember that. Now, for this AMA, let's go over here. Let me put it over here. Whoop. Okay. Okay, this is a very good question. The market is recovering. June is the deadline for Mika, and if Mexico doesn't get approval, our volume can be tight. Would you consider any listings? Yes, I do consider that. It's something that I'm actively working in. Give me some spare time around this. I don't want to say again out of necessity we can list, but necessity it's a bullet, right? A well shot snipe will take you far. Wrong shoot, then we just wasted money, and we don't like to give money away for free. So I need to consider. I need to blend in both things, and I'm working on both things. This is very good, but I need to see the rest of the market. So on the rest of the market side of things, this is very good. But then again, mm, let's see. Let's see how real and good it is, right? I mean, we still depend on freaking Bitcoin. Like whatever Bitcoin does, the rest does the market. But also on the other side, I think you guys should see this. This is better. I think good things are happening in this space. Let's put it like that. So good things happen in this space. We make good decisions. Hopefully, right? That's what we do. Okay, so I cannot say anything except that if Mexi gets banned, let's call it like that, we will have to make a very on spot decision because trading needs to happen and we already have some things. But hopefully, I am not forced to list for necessity. I am forced to list to generate euphoria around the BKN. Two different concepts. Now, beyond investment, is that a group you actively integrate or distribute in Bricken? I'm not even gonna. It's common sense. If you invest, you want that to grow. If they invest, they help you grow. So every single investor in Bricken, in the equity or independent the tokens, because some of you in the community have thrown us leads. Everybody wants to grow. So whoever invests in the company needs to be an active investor. An active investor means that by all means you want your money to grow. So if you have the powerhouse to help them grow, by all means. So just general common sense here. If you see names associated to us in any means, trust me, they're real partnerships and everybody's pushing to grow because that's when you decide to pick winners. You decide who's gonna be the one that is gonna help me conquer this niche or this space tokenization. And in that sense, we got invested by a couple of strategic investors who are tech providers or service providers, and they want to start pushing this very, very hard. Okay. Okay. Now, with the upcoming contract, yeah. Okay. So three is with the upcoming contract upgrade. What will happen with the big end? It's a migration. I'm still waiting on some things there. Just not the right moment. Just not to cut momentum. I think I'm gonna be announcing something in the coming 2 3 weeks max. We need to do the upgrade because our platform it's now way past certain things around the BKN how it was built. Let's figure out that this contract was done in 2021, right? The BKN contract. So there's a lot of things we cannot do just because we got outdated. Tech evolves. So the natural thing is for us to migrate, but there's no changes. You guys will receive the same parity. You're gonna be flawless. I don't want to speak too much right now because some things are still cooking in the books and cooking in the war room. But the idea is that nobody suffers anything. So we're very much in detail there. And obviously, the BKN is still everywhere. White paper doesn't change because of a contract. It's going to help us grow and facilitate a lot of things that right now we're blocked just because certain functions, coding, programs, service providers, back in 2021 when this was created, were not updated. So we need to update ourselves. Fourth, what is the current status of the European sandbox? Yeah, the European sandbox is a testing phase. We're done. We're part of the second cohort. Thanks to us, innovation happened at the legal level. We're a reference in tokenization. You don't stay in the European sandbox or any sandbox forever. It's a time frame that got close, and I think we did very well. And thanks to that, a lot of that know-how got embedded everywhere, just to stay compliant or be able to offer products at that time in the future. And that future is now because we now have the possibilities, growth, and clients, and understanding as to how to push certain things that were learned through the sandbox. So the sandbox experience is done. Next, okay, next. Oh, well, this is a. Did you ever provide information on what would be accrued cost of tokenizing by myself instead of using Bricken? Ah, I love this. I actually was gonna create a calculator. You put me right in the task. I'm not gonna answer this, but I'm gonna. I mean, it's a very cool one actually. I'm gonna read it again. Did you ever provide information on what would be a true cost of tokenizing by myself instead of using Bricken? Is this public information? Now, the answer is we were creating a calculator and then we got flooded with work and we left the calculator. So let me talk again to my finance and tech team because the calculator was a lot of fun. We were pushing how much is the fees of transacting without blockchain and how much is the development cost of you creating something similar. So to the person who did the fit, I'm gonna push it to Q2 and you have my word that I'll create the calculator for you to play because it's very interesting how much fees or money you lose by not using tokenization but also how much it is for you to try to be a Bricken without Bricken. And I'm doing this not this is great for you, but it's a great sales pitch. Nothing beats everybody wants savings, right? So if you push them in the right mindset of how much it costs for them to do something, then most likely you already have a client. Okay. Now, six. Will the upcoming shares be tokenized, therefore available in wallets? Yes, of course. We're using our tech. I want to use our tech for doing this. So you will go through here, sign in, equity tokenization, do the whole flow. You will have your own investment board. We're doing everything with our technology. Okay. And you same way you can pay in BKN. And don't worry too much about that. We're months away. As soon as more information becomes available, we'll let you all know. But we're excited to use our technology, kind of like we have to. Okay, so there. And then I have another question somewhere. One second. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, 31 questions. All right. So I'm just going to go through five because we're almost at the hour time. Uh, oof. All right. Oof. This is a lot. I should have been more management on my hat. So I want to talk about two things. Oof, my. I'm laughing because that's a lot of questions here. Jesus, I'm excited that people are more questions. So I'll save some for the next monthly AMA because now I want to talk about two very good things. So, first of all, the cool thing about is you go to our Twitter today, which I'm gonna do it here publicly with you. This. All right, guys. So, as you know, we're Daniel Obugro, co-founder of Ricken, was the creator, one of the authors of ERC 7943, correct? ERC 7943, it's a security standard. Now it has passed to the final phase because right now it's an EIP. But I believe that in the coming, by all means, in Q2, it will be an ERC. So it will be an official standard co-created by Bricken with all its know-how. The ERC 7943 is getting a lot of traction. We don't monetize that, but it's nice to understand that Bricken itself is not just a product, but it's also a knowledge base that is contributing to the standardization of tokenization. So that's super cool. EIP 7943 in the coming weeks will become an official ERC 7943, and that's going to be a very nice event for Bricken, for obviously our co-founder managing to create something that is getting traction. So congrats to him, but also to Bricken because we are a knowledge base on tokenization and securities. Now, second, since apparently the team likes to create things, now we have this that they call it RAMS. I think it's a cool name. Regulated Agent Mandate. I don't know how they came to be to RAMS, but it's a cool one. So this is fully authored by different team members, and we're entering the agentic economy. So it's very interesting to see also the evolution of Ricken that this is not a monetizable event per se. It's again like standard. We want to help the ecosystem of now Ethereum for them to be able to enter agentic economy, but on the security side of things. So we're thinking about things that the standard market are not thinking because our expertise and our niche relies on tokenization. So I have zero doubts that this will also become an ERC that we're also going to implement, but also going to showcase to the market. So by default, broadly speaking, Bricken has authored two ERCs. One is already in production with some parties. We already have it in production with pending audit and some things. And this one, kind of like the agentic economy, is something that we're going to start pursuing. We always like to be at the forefront of innovation and technology. We have the teams for them to understand how to implement certain things across. And this is a very good thing. And again, do we monetize that? No. But hey, kind of like it's interesting to prove that Ricken has one of the most solid knowledge in tokenization, not just at the tokenization level, but now at the AI level connected to the tokenized. So that's massive. And that's by the way, when I have a lot of different questions, and I'm sorry that we don't have that much time, but I really wanted to end here just to showcase that, Ricken is it's a solid play. And thank you very much for everybody who's going to trust us during these months. This is Q1 2026. If I enter 2026 Q1 like this, I'm hoping that in Q2 I enter with a bigger smile. So thank you very much to everybody, and I can only wish you a very pleasant weekend. Ciao.